you something. I'm going to show, it's a very simple pass, but it's very effective from white belt to black belt. And it's a double under pass. And I do it a little bit differently than a lot of people. Sometimes people will tell you to do the double under pass by just reaching underneath and connecting your hands together here. So the idea is you connect your hands together and you drive them up on their back, and then you can move their legs out of the way like that. So you control their legs so they can't throw them back in front of your face to recover their guard, right? Because the goal here is to try and pass his legs and get to side control. That's what we want to do when we're in someone's guard, okay? And one of the easiest ways to do that is to go double unders. Because when you try and do other passes, it lets him have a lot of grips on you. You can grip your sleeves, you can grip your collar, and there's a lot of things, like this is more complex to deal with. So if you're looking for a simple and effective way to pass the guard, you don't really want to try and address his open guard and just try and like throw his legs by. When you start gripping things and going like this, and when you're not really too sure and you don't really have a goal in mind of how to actually pass this, you're going to waste a lot of energy, okay? So as you get more advanced, those passes will become more relevant to you. But at a lower belt and when you're beginning, simpler passes are always going to be better, okay? And one of the simplest ones you can do, but also one of the most effective passes in Jiu-Jitsu at all, is the double under pass. So how I like to do the double under pass is first you need to get underneath his legs. And you can do it in a couple ways. You can just try and just dive right in, right to here, which works a lot of the times, okay? But I prefer you try and set it up with like a little more systematically. And the way I would like to set it up is, so the first thing I want you to do is just push a knee to the ground, okay? You always want to try and control at least one leg when you're passing the guard, because if you control nothing and you go right into it, his legs are free to do whatever they want, okay? So maybe I try and go double unders without controlling one leg first. He can weave his legs inside my thighs as I try and go and stretch me out, and it puts me in an awkward position. So there's counters to these positions. So if I just dive right into it, he may do something to counter the position. But if I just pin his leg down first and then go under with one arm and then under with the other arm, it kind of takes away his ability to throw his legs in the way and do anything unpredictable, okay? You want to keep it as simplified as possible and not let him do anything. So I pin a leg first. It doesn't matter if he grabs my hand or anything, because once I go underneath like this, I'm immediately taking my hand and putting it behind his leg, okay? Now you'll notice I'm putting my shoulder behind his knee. That's important because if you put it down on your arm, you don't have a lot of strength here. Even if you're super strong, if I try and lift his body and he resists, I'm using a lot of muscle. Whereas if I put it on my shoulder, I can use my whole legs and body to drive my weight into him, okay? And now even if he resists, he's gonna be using a lot more energy than me. So if you just try and go here, which a lot of people do, they try and go like this, you're gonna be wasting a lot of energy. And as you know, you can get pretty tired when you're rolling, right? So putting it on your shoulder is gonna make it a lot easier. So I reach on, put it on my shoulder, and I'm reaching through across, and then reaching under. Now, it's not important to connect your hands, okay? What's important is you keep this knee on your shoulder as long as possible. So to do that, you just want to make sure that your one arm is as far across as possible. This arm is under his leg only to prevent myself from getting submitted. If you leave it here, he's going to triangle you immediately, okay? So you need to have it underneath the leg. He can try and reach for it all he wants. It's not going to help him much. In fact, it's actually going to help me if he starts to try and reach for it here, because it's turning his body and it's going to help me pass. So it's not important to connect your hands or squeeze his knees together. You just need to focus on keeping his knee on your shoulder. And like I said, by doing that, you keep your arm across the body. So now if he tries to get off my shoulder, my arm is just here and it's locking it in place, okay? The next thing you want to do is you want to reach for the collar, like this. As high as you can, but not to the point where your hand is pointed down like this. You just reach as high as you can while you still have your arm on his chest, here. This again is helping me drive into him and help me compress his body and locking his leg onto my shoulder, okay? Now from here, he's starting to really be limited on positional movements to escape. Really the only thing he can do now is start pushing on me with everything he's got, which is really good for me because I have gravity on my side. As the longer I stay here, the more tired he's gonna get. So even if you're not passing, just being in this position, you're winning, right? Because he's fighting to keep you off, and all you're doing is just up on your tippy toes, wearing him out. So you want to be up as much as you can, but you also want to keep your head down. So you keep your hips up, but your head down, okay? Your head down is going to help you keep the position and stop him from pushing on your face or getting a foot in front of your face. Because if I leave my head up, he can get stuff in the way and push me off. It gives him leverage. So you want to keep your head down so he can't throw his legs in front, and even if he pushes on my head, it doesn't really do much for him to escape. So that's what we're looking for. Get in the collar, keeping the leg on your shoulder. Here. Now to actually finish the position, it's the easiest part. Once the guy's stacked up as far as you can get him just by driving, you could be here 10 seconds or you could be here 3 minutes. It's fine, as long as you get the job done eventually, okay? To actually finish the pass, all I'm gonna do is turn my hips like this. I'm turning my hips and clearing a way for his leg to pass off my shoulder, but it's to the side I need it to go, not to that side where he would go to defend the position. So my head and my bicep are keeping his leg on my shoulder, so my head is locking everything into place. So I can keep him here as long as I want. When it's time for me to actually pass, I'm just turning my hip and dropping it to the ground so that his weight all falls neatly past my body and I can solidify the position like this. Okay? So it's called the double under pass, but it's not necessary for you to go both arms under. You really only need one arm under. Here and here. This hand is just chilling. Sometimes you can grab his wrist if he starts trying to poke you in the face or do anything like that. So this hand is just free to sort of defend if he's trying to do anything. Okay? So you can keep it there, or you can even grab like on his butt, the pants here, to help you pull him up and stack him even more if you want to try that. But it's really overkill. You can do it for sure. It's really effective, especially against flexible guys that kind of put themselves here and you kind of want to make them pay for that. And then from here, it's the same thing. I'm dropping my hip and turning my body past the actual position. Okay, are there any questions on that? Okay, so one more time from the beginning. I'm trying to pin a leg, so I have an easy entry, and it makes it so this knee is not going to go any further to the side than I need it, because I actually want it to be right in this exact position, so it's easier for my shoulder. Whereas if I just attack from here, I actually have to pull it up onto my shoulder, which is a waste of time and energy, okay? And he's going to be resisting that. So just by pushing down like this, puts it in the perfect position, and I lock it here. The next step is to put your hand behind the leg and grip the collar. And from here, I drive into him for as long as you want, and then when you're ready to pass, I'm turning all of my body to the side that my arm is under. And turn, and let his legs slide past me. And then you're keeping that grip to make sure you can hold him at side control. Okay? Let's try it, guys. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
I feel like I want 2 people clapped.
Just because it was so simple. Thank you, man.